Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to the Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or all my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Hello, everyone. It is a glorious Friday, the 13th. I'll give it a minute or two for some of you to pop on. I know I'm running a minute or two late. I just time got away from me this morning with the morning routine and a little bit of delays around here. Anyway, come on in. Good morning, Wes. Nice to see you. It's good to see you. I'll come in. I'll give you a minute to pop on before I start talking about a few things today. I've channeled quite a bit. I've got 2 pages front and back of some channeling that I've done. Come on in. Good to see everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday the 13th. So Friday the 13th, I'll share my perspective on it, is a day of sacred goddess energy. In early 19th century, superstitions were around the energy behind the Friday the 13th. And was interesting, the purpose behind this was actually to diminish the divine feminine power. Very interesting fact, energetically. So there was a lot of energy created to kind of hold back or damper the divine feminine. So for me, Friday the 13th is about taking back power, my personal power, divine feminine power, and to be able to stand in that truth and to be able to love ourselves from that perspective. So that's kind of how I look at Friday the 13th. I don't feed any lower energies to begin with, ever. So, and interestingly enough, that is something that I want to talk about when I did some channeling today. So I'm just curious if you want to take a moment and just share with me your thoughts on Friday the 13th. If anybody kind of takes anything serious on the 13th, Friday the 13th, I sure don't. I celebrate the divine feminine and standing in that personal power. Energy update for the next couple days, and I think it's going to trickle into more of the next couple weeks. So we have a whole bunch of stuff going on. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on with solar flares and eclipses. There's a lot of big energies, and there's a lot of portals that are opening up. So there's a lot of portals opening up energetically for us as a collective and individually to step up and take our power back, to be able to step up and allow change and allow new directions, and to kind of make ourselves into a little bit more sturdy, is how I felt it coming in, to shake us up. And sometimes when we're getting shaken up, it kind of has that both ways kind of feeling, right? The good and the struggle, and the good and the struggle. I feel a lot of doors that are closing that need to close. I feel like we're that just this big calling to close things that are no longer serving us, and to pull ourselves together collectively into new opportunities, new ways of thinking, transformation, transformation, transformation. Now, this is going to kind of leak into, I kind of felt it kind of leaking into a lot of the things that you may be struggling with, whether it be relationships, whether it be work related, whether it just be life, like the general things behind the scenes. And what I felt coming in with that, and I remember when I was meditating, I remember being a little bit uncomfortable. I remember wiggling myself a little bit, kind of to shift the energy a little bit. Is there's some agitation. There is some agitation energetically that is just floating around in like little particles. So have you been a little bit moody? Have the people around you been a little bit moody? Has there been some a little bit more of that kind of floating around? The next several months, I feel like we're coming into a lot of life lessons that are going to affect us very differently. You may be kind of leaning into on the next couple of days some personal power struggles with yourself, and you may on how you think about things, and where you are, and kind of like your own perspective and your own spiritual growth. And when I leaned in there with spirit, what was shouted at me was rise above all lower vibrations. It was literally shouted, stay true to your authentic self, stay true in what you believe in. And then I suddenly seen like this kind of like big circle of fire, and I was sat in the middle of it, and I thought, oh, what's going on here? And I literally felt things that no longer served us kind of burning away. And I just felt that big shift, that letting go, that shift into letting go and not putting our attention where it doesn't need to be. As I kinda settled down, I felt like I was sitting in, it had a very similar feeling as, like a waiting room. I felt like I was sitting in this space of just kind of, like, waiting. Where's what am I waiting for? It's kinda one thing that I felt and kind of, like, asked myself, and I just felt this magnified, opening of a doorway, and I felt this magnified space of new beginnings, new way of looking at things, new perspectives, and changes that are gonna come in for like, and I felt it like global. I just felt like there was gonna be this magnitude of new things coming in, and it almost felt like there was this you had all this negativity and all this drama, and it felt quite high, and I literally took my breath in because, you don't need me to tell you what's going on in the world right now. There's a lot that is going on in the world right now, but then I just felt this rise up, and I felt this rise up that kept amplifying and amplifying and amplifying, and all these doors flew open, and it was an opportunity to literally shift out of what isn't serving us collectively. What are we doing here collectively as a group? It's going to get a little bit louder on it doesn't have to be that way. And I think that there's going to be this and it felt very much like this like almost like a tug of war with like people that believe in the light, people that are on the side of love and light, and in all things glorious. And I just felt this big tug, and I felt us being able to tug what was no longer serving our physical world into a different space with it. And it's going to be interesting to see how the next several weeks play out, but that's literally how I felt that shift. Now, focusing on that higher path can be very difficult when there's so many bits and pieces, when we're so aware right now of what's going on. And I had to plant my feet very firm in my own belief systems. I had to, and spirit said, keep your head up in that heart space and apply all of your spiritual knowledge and knowing. And I think that this is going to be it's not going to happen overnight, but I think that this is going to be a space and a time that we are going to start acting more on that head heart awareness. We are very aware of the physical world, and and we do have to keep some of that this way, but we also it's also part of our time space reality with what's going on. So what spirit showed me was head on feet on the earth, head in the clouds, head in the spirit dimensions, kind of like in that space of what you truly believe in, and being able to pull into that collectively. So many of you may have seen that I posted a healing circle. I felt like I needed to do something. I feel like I just need to do something. And for the last several weeks, and I think I mentioned it a couple of lives ago, I keep hearing the song, I'd like to teach the world to sing. And I feel like I personally need to turn up my own personal volume on what my beliefs are and where my spirituality is at, and kind of open that waiting room up for others even more. And then I did kind of excuse me, I'll be honest with you, I did have a moment, and I think it was to kind of share with all of you. I did have that moment of I'm only one little medium here in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Like what can I do? And spirit was very, very abrupt with me, was, yeah, but the power of one can pull in the vibration of many. And I just fell into that so lovingly and with such grace and with such allowing. So the spirit circle is tomorrow. The details are posted on the community page. I think I said 10 or 10:30. I have to go back and look. I'm going to come on and I'm going to lead us all into a healing circle that is going to be collectively spreading some healing and some help and some love and light to a lot of the chaos that is going on right now in our physical world. We do have the power to emit a different frequency, and I'm very firm in that, and I'm very solid in that. So I got to start showing up a little bit more in that space as well. So it will be probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a bit, depending on how it goes. But it will be solely sending healing energy out to the collective. So yeah, so there we are. Um, I hope that many of you feel connected to what I'm saying about the energy in that space that we're in. I'm also feeling a little bit of a quiet and a stillness coming in on Monday and Tuesday next week. It felt just a little bit, it felt very still. So I'm not quite, like, almost like a silence. So I'm not quite sure what that's about. I'm hoping to sit a little bit more with spirit to get just a little bit more energy on that, because it had a little bit of an uneasy feeling for me. So that's why I want to come together as a group and just raise up the vibration, kind of raise us up into that higher space. And I do believe that we can. I truly do. My heart and my soul and my connection to my spirit guides, I feel that very much. We do have that power here, and it's time to take that back. And I am going to do my best and take part. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all Saturday morning. Okay, so let me just scroll back up here. There's been I don't look at the comments until I've done my blurb, because I find it very distracting. Um, so yeah, let's just see. And I also felt that we need to start getting ready. We need to step it up. We need to start getting ready, using our awareness and using our focus to take us to take that higher path, to take that into that higher space. And I do love what Spirit said to me: plant your feet firm on the ground and keep your head up in the spirit dimensions, into that heart space. So I hope some of you can join me tomorrow morning. So let's see where we're at. I do have a little bit of time today, so let's just chit chat. And I also appreciate any comments if you resonate, and it's okay that you don't. But if you resonate to the live this morning, I'd appreciate just a couple comments. Aaron, stressful day. I'm glad you're on today. Bless your heart, Aaron. Get your feet firmly planted on the ground, and head up in spirit. I love that analogy, because we do, and I think sometimes we maybe even I forget that. Sometimes I forget that I'm on planet Earth. I forget that I'm here, because I spend so much time in the spirit dimensions that sometimes even I need a reminder that you're in the physical world. So, feet firmly planted here and head up into the spirit dimensions as you navigate through your stuff. Okay. Good morning, everybody coming in. Lots of you joining me here this morning. I love, love, love it. Um, Wendy, are there any messages for me that this week? Wendy, I feel the need to just kind of tap into a little bit of that self-care with you. I feel like I need to just say, you know what, Wendy, like, go do something for you. Like, I feel like I need to just kind of turn the volume up a little bit on that. I also feel that I need to, like, almost like I've calmed the buzzing. So I don't know if there's been a lot of buzzing in your life, in your physical world, but I feel like I gotta give you some time and some space to just kind of turn that down a little bit. Just it feels almost like a buzz in the background. It's in my awareness. And then I just need to kind of get you to, like, sit down with a cup of tea and just kind of watch the birds fly by. I need to do something for you, whatever resonates with you as far as something that you really enjoy or something that you want to do, even if it's just for like 5 minutes. I need to give that to you. I just feel like sometimes there's too much background noise for me, and I just got to turn that down. I hope that resonates there. Friday the 13th is usually a great day for me. I also have a black cat, so I'm definitely not superstitious. I'm not superstitious at all. But I will tell you a little funny story. I did a group reading last week in someone's private home. And I was giving a client a reading, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this adorable black cat just kind of sprung out. It literally came from like behind the space behind me, jumped up behind me, and like landed on my lap. And the and I'm like, oh, cute little kitty. And the person that was getting a reading from me was like really, really like taken back. Like, what does this mean? Is this an omen? And I'm like, no, the cat's just black. And so, so that's very interesting. Sometimes we do kind of lean into older vibrations. I don't know. I personally don't know of people that kind of lean into that old energy of superstitions, but we are into Halloween month. So October is Halloween month, and we do kind of lean into more and I think it's for fun, and there's nothing wrong with that fun vibration of and of energy. And we do feel spirit a lot more in October, because we are putting that vibration out of connecting with the spirit dimensions. I love it so much. Let's see where we are. Peyton, I'm wondering how my partner's health is going. He just had a major surgery and we're quite worried about his condition. Do your guides have any messages of comfort at this time? Peyton, I do feel like I do feel that recovery energy. I do feel like there's like any surgery, there's that time of recovery. But I also feel a lot of strength. I also feel a lot of determination. I also feel the power of love and healing is very, very loud. But Peyton, I just want to kind of remind your partner that healing is a process. So I don't know if your partner has like a lot of impatience energetically, but I feel like I've just got to remind your partner that my body knows what it needs to do, and I just need to kind of allow that. I also feel though I feel really dry, so my mouth feels dry, my body feels like it's dry. I just got to kind of encourage whatever the healthcare professionals are encouraging as far as diet and fluids go. But I just feel like I've got to kind of like increase my water intake, maybe kind of charge the water. Whatever resonates with you, whether put a jar of water on the window ledge. It does not have to be a full moon. Some crystals around a glass of water. I feel like I just got to charge that water up a little bit, and I think that will help. I also feel like all of a sudden I bounce back really quick. It's like recovery, recovery, recovery. Bing! I feel that rubber ball, and it's like, well, okay, now I'm good. I'll also, Peyton, if you like, I'll also send some healing if you want to comment that that is okay with your partner to send some healing energy. I'll put your partner in my healing circle. I have a healing circle that I sit with every day with a list of people who ask to be part of that healing circle. And I just send energy and healing after my meditations in the evening. Um, Diane, I definitely feel this message. My neighbor was yelling at me because of leaves on my yard. I imagine a light shield around me and thought that I don't need to put my energy at yelling her. Very good. We do get to choose. Very interesting that you mentioned that, Diane, because I had sessions all week. I had in-person sessions all week, and almost every single person, I think there might have been two that didn't, was having problems with neighbors. So that's very interesting. When I read that, I was like, here again with neighbors. So the advice that I had given was very similar to what you said, in a little bit of protection. I like to put Himalayan salt lines, along property lines, or just visualizing a shield. I also won't engage in a lower vibration. I also send that person understanding something has gone on with somebody to be so heavy, and I try to lead into that compassion. That poor person's got something going on in their own vibrational field that they're really struggling with. And when I kind of shift into that perspective, it kind of takes away any of that knee jerk reaction to be, and I'll say this lovingly, but to be a jerk back, because we feed it then, right? So I try to lean into, bless their hearts, they've got something going on, or they're experiencing something, or perhaps their whole life. Some people come here in their whole life and spend it miserable, and that's their lessons and their learning. And I just try to pull myself back into my own lane with some compassion and some love. But I find that very interesting with the whole neighbor thing because it came up all week with my clients, all but two. And I read all week. I had a full work week this week. My youngest, okay, Spring Hall. My youngest is going into Marine Corps. I'm a bit concerned about him getting through. Do you see anything regarding his graduating boot camp or anything regarding my app for housing? Um, When I lean in there with the Marine Corps, do I feel, and I feel energetically this is part of his experience here as well. I feel like yes, he's gonna have to work. And I think that he's gonna do very well with working hard with that boot camp. I feel that I just need to, and you can send this remotely to him when he's there, is I feel like I need to hold him energetically. So in a little bit of a meditation or just closing your eyes and visualizing, remember that little version of him? Remember just that little version, right? And just visualizing holding him and supporting him and kind of sending that energy when he's at the boot camp. I just feel like I just need to be held sometimes. So that's kind of the space that I want to kind of focus on energetically. I feel he's going to do very well, and he's going to work for it. Like I just feel like I'm going to work hard for what I want, and I think he's going to go for it all in. And I really feel ready. I feel so ready to do this. Is kind of where I feel with him energetically. Of course, it's natural to have a little bit of Am I doing the right thing? But I feel very, very ready. As far as the housing app, I have a little bit of fog around that. I'm not really sure. Either there's going to be a bit of a issue, like timing issue, but or there's just a little bit of fog there, but I don't feel terrible, and it's not completely fogged for me. So when I see something that's a little bit foggy, it usually means a little bit of a pause or a bit of a delay, but I don't feel terrible with it. So because it's not completely out of my view, when I put on my spiritual lenses. So one thing that you can help with, and I just want to kind of talk about this for a moment. We can help, move things along by sending energy to something. So sending energy to, and I always say for my highest good, can you move this along? And then if it takes its time, then I just kind of understand, well, it's not for my highest good to have this pushed through right now. And I just kind of lean in there. But I will ask spirit to clear any roadblocks for my highest good. I will ask spirit, can you reshuffle this along for my highest good? And I will work on being patient for my highest good as well, because I think that's one thing that we humans need to kind of work on just a little bit more is our patience for our highest good, right? And I actually had spirit tell me that once. It was actually a deceased friend of mine came to me. I was having a talk with my spirit guides, and I actually had a deceased friend of mine walk through my meditation and talk to me about that, about working on my patience. You're asking us for help for your highest good. So you've got to kind of trust that we know when to insert that into your journey. Let me see where we need to go. Can you tell me if my bunny surgery on Tuesday will go smoothly? I do have a bit of anxiety around it because I lost my beloved dog earlier this year to a surgery. Um, I mean, sometimes, and I always say I'm very honest with all of you. I don't hold all the answers. I go with how it feels. I don't feel any worry there. I also have to, like I say before, be careful what energy you're adding into your recipe of life. If you believe in the power of manifestation, if you believe in the power of our thoughts create our reality, I always say that goes both ways. Be careful what you're aligning to. Be careful what you're aligning to. It's extremely important, and it's something that I am constantly aware of, right? If knowledge from the spirit dimensions feels very different than our own personal anxieties, right? So if our own personal anxieties can add energy to what we don't want, and I'm very careful with that. So watch your thoughts. This is going to go well. So I would just kind of keep that in your awareness. It's so powerful. Cheyenne, I always jokingly say that Friday the 13th is my lucky day. I love it. It's a very divine energy. That's a beautiful message. Lana reminds me of the quote, one person plants a mango at the tree, 100 people can eat it. I love that. I love that, and I also love the fact that and I've had a few of you comment on the YouTube channel. I've had a few of you reach out to me and message me about I'm going to be there, Lana. I'm going to help, and I think that's such a glorious thing is bringing this community. To do work, like to do good work, to help raise vibrations, to help people cope through difficult times. The energy of fear has been given way too much power, and we sold out to that. A couple years ago we sold out to feeding fears, and I think every now and again it's like the fear energy sticks its head out. Be afraid of this, be afraid of this, be afraid of this, and we got to heck no, right? We got to heck no with the fear, because fear energy brings in things that we truly don't want to do. So I think we can all work on that, and each and every single one of you, and I say this frequently and I'll say it again, each and every one of you are healers. Each one of you are light workers. Each one of you have that power within you. So I'm very excited to have you join me in that. Um, Nice way to change the communication dynamics. Glad you thought before returning the same energy. We need more of that in this world. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the other thing that I just want to, I'll come back to the questions, but Spirit just kind of said, "Oh, you forgot to tell them this part." I think one of the things that will really help some of you is, especially those of you who are affected by other, by fear or other people's anxieties, is give yourself a challenge this week, or over the weekend, to cut back your social media engagement. Reading posts and of loving things and things that kind of resonate with you, but don't go in and read everybody else's opinion. Just try and back off of that a little bit over the next couple of days, and just kind of take note. I've said that a few times here, but Spirit just wanted me to insert that. So there's got to be a reason why. Try not to engage in that kind of alignment for a bit. See where we need to go. Awesome. Thank you for your insight. This just lets me know that I'm very much connected to spirit. I'm in tune with what's ahead. I will make sure I spend extra time focusing on that as well. Good job, Spring Hall. You verbalized that very well. So Cheyenne is at Kayla. Yes and no. Some already have a plan. Some have to make one. Some need specific spirit guides. Some can pick up. I'm just gonna scroll up. I must have missed a comment here from I don't see it. I must have missed Kayla's comment. I don't even see it on here. Let me scroll all the way back up. Oh, I missed quite a few. All right. I missed quite a few comments here. Let me come back up here. Um, there it is. Kayla, I'm going to a live reading tonight with a medium in Harrison, Ontario. Any messages from spirit? I'm going to a live reading. So, you know what, Kayla? I think that's great that you're going to a live reading. Make sure that you're going. I always say go into any reading open. Reading should always be able to give you some validation. There should always be some validation. I also, when I go to a reading, I'm also very open to, especially, so when you say a live reading, so that a group setting, if it's a group setting, I'll give you guys a bit of a tip with this. If it's a group setting, spirit, and this happens to me all the time because I do groups several times a month. And what happens in a group setting is spirit will go to where the messages are needed the most. So, people quite often will leave a group reading a little bit disappointed that they didn't hear from their loved one or they didn't get a message. You just keep that in the back of your mind. Spirit will go to where the healing is needed the most in a group setting. If this is a one-on-one reading, Kayla, just make sure that you're lovingly open. But I always ground myself before any reading, and I always suggest that reading should be very evidential. Okay, so just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Mila, so with your question here with your friend, I really want you to think about what's happening when what I've been talking about in the last few lives, as well as in the last few messages for you. You are being shown what you need to step back from, and our relationships has come up over and over and over again in our live feeds. I've been talking about that at length. So if you are being shown things in relationships, whether it be friends, family, any kind of work related relationships, school related work relationships, your spirit guides are telling you these people or this person or this situation does not serve us. So I feel like you're pushing against a lot of resistance. I feel like I've got to get you to just allow. If somebody doesn't want to message you back or somebody doesn't want to engage or somebody's kind of stepped back, take that as that's not where I'm supposed to be right now. If that person comes back into your life to teach you a lesson or there's some healing that happens, then that's great. But look at where you're standing with what's coming up. What repeat lessons are coming up for you? If it's relationships and people that are either not treating you well or are the same lesson seems to be happening with different players, you've got to take a look at that. It's a lesson for you and not necessarily a lesson for them. I hope that makes sense there for you. Tan, I've been watching your animal communication videos, Lana. They are so wholesome. I need friends with a black cat. I I, I made friends with a black cat. Um, the animal communication part of my world is absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love it. The equine stuff does slow down in the fall, winter. I don't do a whole lot of equine work in the winter just because of the temperatures here, and it's not easy for me to work outside unless it's in a heated barn. So the equine stuff will slow down a little bit, but the other animal communication will start. Tin, one thing that I really feel like I need to tell you, I really need to remind you of is, and I feel like I've got to kind of like fluff it up over the weekend as your worthiness. I really feel like I need to kind of turn the volume up on that. You are so worthy, and you are, and you matter, and you're important, and your thoughts, and your energy. I need to kind of get you to sit in that. I feel like you are building this brand new relationship with yourself, if that makes sense. I feel like, oh, I'm getting to know myself from a whole different level because as we change and evolve, sometimes we need to take a moment to get to know ourselves again. I say that quite often to my mentoring students as they navigate through their own learning. Take some time to get to know yourself now. You've done some growth, you've done some healing. Spend some time in that new version of yourself, and you will find that you will lean less and less to old versions of you or old patterns or old habits. Spend some time really feeling the feels of your own energy and your own light. Horizon Phoenix, the spirit have a hand in my insurance dropping a gym membership in my lap to help me lose the weight. Um, absolutely. I feel though when I lean in there, I feel like you've been asking. I feel like you've been asking for help, asking for guidance, asking for strength, asking for, a new lens is kind of actually how I'm seeing it, new way of viewing things. And I also feel that it's more about wellness rather than losing weight. I feel like you're coming into this whole new self-care or turning up the volume on self-care. And I have to kind of remind you, and this is what your spirit guide is saying, is enjoy the free gym membership. Um, but also enjoy every step of the way in your transformation. Sometimes we focus, and I understand this very much. I've had to learn this, my own journey with health and weight management is I kind of negotiate with myself. If you lose 10 pounds, I'm going to love you a little bit more. I just love yourself with exactly the way you are, and I'm going to do my best to take better care of you, Lana. And that's what I have learned. And the whole self-acceptance piece in that is I've accepted to myself, even when it's hard and even when it's great and even when I'm doing okay. I just kind of have to soften that a little bit, just kind of remember that I said it. But very much I feel like you've been asking, so keep asking, Horizon Phoenix, for the things that you need. Lean in there a little bit more. um Aaron, I might have to tap into the healing. I'm feeling explosion in my hometown and a few days ago. Ironically, my gas was shut off because we can't afford the bills. Didn't sleep well. Really lean into that healing supportive energy. Really lean into that support. I also feel, Aaron, I also feel that financially, I know that you're in a bit of a struggle right now, but I feel like I've got to kind of like really dig your heels in on moving forward for more, moving forward for more abundance, better finances, more opportunity. I need to kind of push you into that a little bit. I almost feel like and it's very, and I get it. It does it, I get it. When we go through something tough or things that we don't understand, our strength, our faith, our ability to see the light in things that does get a little bit diminished. I need you to kind of really focus on 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 the good, on things that are safe, on things that are around you. I need you to just really make sure that you're pushing through that. We do go through hard times, but how we go through those hard times is really important too. So just kind of navigate through that a little bit, okay, hun? Um, Holly, do you have any messages from my mom or my mother-in-law as I go through chemo for the next 5 months? Holly, do one of them connect to they may not have been a professional singer, but does one of them connect to music? Because I can hear them singing to you, and perhaps it's just how they're working with me or how they want to connect with you through music. But I'm hearing a lot of music, and I feel like the support with music, if I can get you to kind of, when you're going through your treatments, get your earbuds in, picking songs that really uplift you. I really feel spirits working, like they're both working with music. So, and if you're going to a center for your chemo, if there's any music in the background, just kind of pay attention to it. I think you might get a message in music. I keep hearing that. I also feel that I feel very good with the chemo. And I know chemo is not a nice thing to go through, but I feel very good with the chemo. And one thing that I really want to kind of give you, Holly, is that I don't know if you've been, and I get it, it's chemo. I'm sure you have worries, but I want you to give your body just kind of permission to take what it needs from the chemo, and whatever my body doesn't need, it can let it go, right? It's like it's almost just give yourself permission to take what your body needs, because I think sometimes we become a little bit um fearful of a medication. What if we don't need it? What if we don't need, what if it's bad for me? Just embrace the chemo. Whatever your body needs, I'm going to take it. Hope that helps you there. Um, Aaron, I actually forgot I have a physical presence. My head is always in space. Aaron, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. I'll tell you a funny story. So, every now and again, I go way too much the other way. My pendulum will switch way too much the other way, where I'm like way up in the spirit dimensions all the time. And there have been times over the years where spirits been like they're lovingly kick me out and say, you've got to spend some time in the physical world too. So I really started practicing my feet on the earth, my head up in the spirit dimensions, because I will go the other way because it's just so glorious up in there. But when I go out of balance, and this is a me thing, maybe you'll relate. When I go out of balance, I tend to miss. Then we tend to miss things that are going on here in the physical world, whether it be the lessons or people around us, because I'll go way too much the other way sometimes. And spirit has literally said, like, get out of here for a couple hours. In a loving way, they've kicked me out. Let's see where we need to go. Alina, I appreciate you mentoring that we need to get ready, keeping our feet on the ground and our head with spirit. I feel like we're your warriors in training. Haha. I'm grateful that you feel that way. I think that we all help each other. And remember one thing, you all have taught me amazing things here on these lives. You've taught me, like, you have been my mentor, my teacher, as well. So what a beautiful exchange, isn't it, when we help each other? I love that so much. Thank you so much, Mama. You are an amazing girl. Love you. Love you too, Miss Wendy. Um, Tabitha. I've been feeling a tingling on the upper left side of my head. Is it energy of the eclipse doing this, or spiritual in meaning? Do my guides have any insight on this? So Tabitha, I will get, as I always say, if you have any health issues, please see your doctor. um so a tingling on the left side. I'm curious if it's more forehead or if it's crown. I do feel it's like an ask from spirit, to allow the opening, to allow more, to allow yourself to go a little bit deeper, to let go a little bit, is kind of what I'm feeling. I'm just curious though if it's upper or if it's forehead. Just because forehead is, quite often is where third eye. I will feel a tingling every single time I channel, or every single time somebody, something is said to me. If it's truth, I'll often feel my forehead tingle. If it's that I need to open up more to spirit, I feel like of this pull on my forehead. It almost feels like a numbness, but it feels like a pull open. And the same thing will happen with my crown. Our crown we connect with as well. So being able to connect to energy a little bit more with our crown. So I would, when you feel it, just allow yourself that expansion. We are coming into a huge transformation. It is like, a lot of people have been saying it for a little bit. There's been a lot of different wording about it. But and then I think a lot of us are feeling it. There's some kind of big, powerful shift that's going to happen, and I feel like this transformation piece. Many of us are leveling up. Many of us are tapping into the portals. Many of us are going to step up, as we need to take those steps. When things like this start to happen collectively, there it quite often will show itself as some chaos going on in the physical world, and we do have a lot of chaos going on right now. We have had chaos going on here for the last little while, and it's about learning and growing forward, and about being able to step up and step out of old energy. When you think, and this is how spirit showed me, when you think about history, the history books, it's always like wash, rinse, repeat, where we're seeing so many repeat, maybe different storylines, but still the same stuff, if that makes sense. We've had all this before, and we have to transform, and we have to step up and step out. And there's the portals are opening, and they're opening up at a rapid rate. So when I start to see portals and doorways and light and spirit keeps saying transform, 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 there's usually it's like a bit of a rattle is happening or going to happen here in the physical world. But that is our cue, is our calling from spirit to say it's time to step up. Spirit also doesn't have is not the cause of what's happening here. A lot of people have brought that up to me lately, and I'm like, no, we have choice and free will here in the physical world, and this is solely the humans. Listen, a lot of lessons, but we create some of these lessons too, right? So this isn't all mapped out either. It's about another opportunity to grow from it, another opportunity to grow from it. I hope that resonates there. Where do we need to go here? Wesley, I resonate with getting back into my own power on October 3rd. I picked up the keys to my P.O. box as some unlucky stuff happened to my mail when it fell on the doormat at home. Um, Taking back our personal power is huge, and I think that it's going to be coming around collectively as well. Collectively, we're taking back our personal power. Collectively, we're doing things. We're all here together in this time space reality for very important reasons. We've got important work to do here too. um Ashley, are you able to connect with our pets that are still here on Earth with us? Absolutely. Animal communication is incredible, with living or past, and they communicate very similar. Actually, if yes, can you tell me if my dog Mavis has any messages for me? So, Ashley, it's a little bit easier for me to connect with a living animal when I can see them on a screen and have a moment with them. I often just need literally 4 to 5 seconds, but I will connect energetically and see what I can get here for you, Ashley. Okay. So what first of all, when I lean in there, I feel like I have to let you know that I feel like I'm loved like a child. I feel like I don't feel like I'm an animal. I feel like I know I'm treated like, and I'm loved very much as a person, as a human. I feel like you're aware of the soul rather than aware of the fur, if that makes sense. And I also feel like your souls have connected before. So I do feel that you have had a past experience with this animal, either in a past lifetime or this animal has come back to you more than once. I just feel that strong connection. I also feel that this animal is very much an empath. I feel like the dog is picking up on your stuff, and I don't know if you've noticed like a bit of an increase in. I don't feel it as behavior problems, but I just feel like energetically I'm just kind of reacting. This animal reacts to what you're going through. So watch the behaviors. If there's anything that's like different or odd, I want you to check in with yourself. Just check in with what am I feeling? Because I feel like this animal is extremely in tune, like almost at an amplified level, if that makes sense. I'm also aware, I don't know if it's you or the animal, but I'm also aware of it's not quite my lower back, it's just kind of right on my side. So I don't know if you're having any tightness there, or if the dog's having any tightness there, but I'm just aware of that. I just feel like I have to stretch. I just feel like I have to it feels like I feel tight is how I feel. I hope that resonates there with you. um Peyton, thank you so much, Lynn. I appreciate your time. Can you send some healing to him at any time? His initial. Thank you very much for the initials. I will definitely write that down right now and put those initials in my healing circle. Deanna, I've absolutely loved to be part of your healing circle. I have chronic back pain, and recently went through two herniated disc. Recovery is slow, but sure. Um, okay, I'll put you in the healing circle as well. I'd also encourage you to attend the healing circle that's going to happen on Saturday morning here on the channel as well. So if you're able to attend that as well, because part of the healing circle, I will be including healing ourselves, and working with that energy. Cheyenne, if I can be part of the healing circle too tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I may be at my mom's birthday party around that time. If you can't make it, Cheyenne, I'm going to try and pencil them in on a more regular basis, especially while we navigate through a lot of the stuff right now. I'm going to try really hard. My schedule, especially on weekends, can be a little bit difficult to manage because I do have a lot going on in physical world life. And I have to really make sure I keep that in the balance. But I really feel pulled to be doing more healing circles, so I'm going to try and work that in. Let's go on to now. If a collective message from the I feel pulled to do both. I feel like I want to do the angel numbers, and I feel like I want to do the Spirit guide. Big thumbs up if you enjoyed your time with me this morning. We've been on for a good 40, almost 44 minutes here. Let's see. I can always, let's see what we go. What does the group need to know collectively? 220. This is a strong divine message urging you to hold on to hope, trust, and faith. Holy cow. As as these qualities determine the outcome of your of current situations. I'm going to read that again. I just got like literally ghost bumps. Goosebumps work too. I literally got goosebumps, like literally like I could feel my hair standing up. This is a strong divine message urging you to hold on to hope, trust, and faith, as these qualities determine the outcome of our current situations. Wow. Wow. Angel number 220. Um, I just got I don't usually get soft or emotional, but that's powerful, and I think that that's, some validation on what we need to do, right? What we need to do. We need to gather. We need to gather collectively, um, and being able to bring that message of hope, trust, and faith to the forefront of what's going on. I just got like I don't even feel the heat coming off my face. Um, yeah, that's another sign for me. When I start feeling the heat come off my face, it's like spirit coming through, right? I get that. I usually come out of meditation very beet red face because I can feel spirit working through me. Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying here. You love that, yeah? Isn't that insane? Chills all around. That is beautiful. Absolutely profound. I know, and you know what, Queen of Spades, that's absolutely what we need right now. That's exactly what my thoughts were. I was literally like thanking spirit like over and over in my mind for that beautiful message this morning because it does get hard, doesn't it? It gets hard when there's so much gong show going on in the physical world, so that I was just like thanking them for that for that guidance and that support. I get hot face too. Yeah, my cheeks get hot too, says Deanna. Yeah, that's spirit, right? That's our awareness of the spirit dimensions. I do have a lot of physical responses with my body. Quite often when I'm doing a big group, the palms of my hands they'll either go two ways. They'll either go blue or they'll go white. And sometimes like they'll go if I touch anybody, they'll be like your hands are like ice. It's like the ice queen hands, but it's my physical body responding to where I'm working in the spirit dimensions. And like I said before, the chills, the hot face, the tingling across the forehead, all signs. Um, my feet are tingling now. Why me? Why my feet of all places? One thing with the feet is our feet is a very is our feet are very important, very powerful from a more than one reason. Number one, Cheyenne, I think that is a really strong message with grounding, with the power and that strength. And there's a lot of spots in our feet. When you think about reflexology, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in our feet, and I think that the power of standing in your truth and being able to tap in there. Oh, hold on, YouTube wants me to run an ad. I'm just going to see if I can hit skip. There we go. Um, okay, so here we go. I feel the tingle on my feet as well. Yeah, it's a very, very powerful place, right? So when you're feeling that, what's really important, I'll just give you a little bit of advice. When you're feeling spirit connecting with you, the first thing that comes out of my mind is thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the validation. Thank you for helping me. Always go with that validation. So the grounding work will be really important, Cheyenne. Oh yeah, my grounding work definitely isn't the best, even though I thought I try my best. You are trying your best, Cheyenne, and with our best, there's always room to kind of turn up the volume. Spirit will, I'll be working one way, and the spirit will say, turn up the volume now, do a little bit more, that push for more, right? And something really simple that I tell my mentoring students is do your grounding work while you're doing your everyday stuff. It's just about bringing your awareness to your feet. So if you're walking to work, just I'm solid on the earth. I'm walking on Mother Earth. Mother Earth is holding me. When you're walking, even across your kitchen floor, every now and again, I'll stomp across my kitchen floor or dance across my kitchen floor to ground me, like just to help ground me. right? So you can do your grounding work, embed it right into your regular lifestyle. It's the same thing with whenever I drink water. I drink cleansed, charged water, and I do it myself. It doesn't have to be anybody else. You can charge and cleanse your own water. So every time that you're drinking from your water bottle, love and light into my body, love and light into my energy spaces, love and light. So you can do all these things with, because it's all intention, it's all energy. So you can do all these things in your everyday life, right? I even do. So I have trouble, especially when I'm filming. I have trouble with dry eyes from the lighting or from staring at a computer screen. So I even with my eye drops, I use my eye drops, and I have the word, probably can't see it because it's fine on there. I have the word spiritual clarity right on my eye drops, so that when I'm using my eye drops, I'm open to all clarity. I'm open to all clarity, right? If crystals resonate with you, then lean into crystals. I'm a big nature person. I carry a little stick in my pocket that I grab from the woods. Acorns. So acorns, and I know for our area, it's the year of the acorns. I learned recently that acorns don't come every year. I just learned that recently. But I keep acorns. Acorns are abundant, so I keep an acorn in my pocket. I keep an acorn on my dining room table. There's acorns along that front entrance of my house with just it's all these things anyway. If I'm going to look at something, I might as well look at something that's going to bring me some energy. Okay, here we go. My work is in the forest. I picked that place for a reason. I always try to find ways to ground and don't require. Remember, it's too much cause and they don't work for me. Whatever works for you, right? Whatever works for you, and just implement it into your life. It's your spiritual journey. It's whatever works for you. I have tons of woodsy furniture. I love wood. Yeah. I carry a stick around. In the winter, so I struggle in the winter when it's cold and snowy, and I can't get out in the forest that often. You guys might laugh. I think I shared this before, maybe not. I put a little bit of dirt in my shoes. So I have a little pot in my garage, and in the winter, if I'm struggling with or missing feeling the soil or feeling the dirt, I'll put like a little pinch in my shoe. So anyway, what do we need to know as a group collectively? What do we need to know? Let's pull in some let's pull your energy in. So you guys all ask too for some collective help, okay? And what are we on here? The grouse. Um, Close the curtains and turn on some music. Lose your inhibitions and allow your body to do free form, spontaneous movement to rhythm of music. Study the sacred spiral, its relationship to higher states and consciousness, and see what meaning it has in your life at present. You're increasingly coming into your personal power. Here we go. Into your personal power, which draws from source and expresses through you and as you. Create a sacred ceremony, one with lots of drumming and dancing as a way of honoring spirit. Working with rhythm and movement will open a new flow of energy in your life, while dancing and or drumming focus on something you want to change or manifest. Be clear on your intentions to be clear on your intention to do so. Then watch for the results over the next few days. Find a place in your home that you designate as a sacred space. Construct an altar or use the space for meditation, ceremony, dance, or drumming. You know what I think I might do? Spirit just gave me a brilliant idea. I think I'm going to bring my hand drum and my singing bowl to the healing circle. I don't think I've ever used it in a live. Like I've used my singing bowl, but I don't think I've used my hand drum. I think I'm going to bring my hand drum to the healing circle. For a few minutes, do a circle dance, one in which you dance around a circle in a spiral dance where you rotate clockwise or counterclockwise like a whirl, whirlwind, in a whirlwind. There we go. Couldn't speak for a second. Interesting. Interesting. All right, big thumbs up if you've enjoyed your time with me here, you guys. And I'll see those of you who can join the live for healing circle. If you can't, so if you can't come, you can still energetically join us, right? You can still, it's all healing circle will be on YouTube. Yeah, I'm gonna do it live. So I'm gonna do it live on the channel. Okay. If you cannot come, um, You can do it remotely. You can just put your own thoughts and your own love and your own light out into the universe for healing and for, what's so wrong and destructive, to bring healing light to that. It doesn't have to be me leading it. You can lead it yourself. Our thoughts create things, sending love and light to countries who are dealing with so much upset and death. You just send your awareness into that. I'm sending love and light to wherever it's needed in the world is the other space that you can take this to. Like, there is so much healing that we need, right? We're facing so much, and it's literally that microphone of, it's time for us to evolve. It's time for us light workers to jump up and teach the world to sing. Like, I still don't know what spirit wants me to do with that, but I'll navigate through it and figure it out, and I know they'll guide me through it. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and a spirit guided day. Take care of each other and take care of yourselves.